in their cots, feeling the foreboding of the terror that she wrought. Up the hull and away we go, stop the galley of gold. What the devil a gale to blow, we batter above the hold. Dance along with the water lines, speed us over the waves. Back on the border lines, to never shut up and behave. Crown your whale, queen of the pirates, she set sail on the raging sea. Crown your whale, the gleam of the Irish, spun her tails on the ocean free. Tangled on the ropes, had to wait a lengthy locks in order to elope. She would lose no fight, and she would take no shite. Stole the noble offspring in the middle of the night. Up the hull and away we go, stop the galley of gold. Whack the devil a gale they blow, we batter above in the hold. Dance along on the water line, speed us over the waves. Back on the border line, to never shut up and behave. For on your whale, queen of the pirates, she set sail on the raging seas. Crown your whale, the gleam of the Irish, spun her tails on the ocean free. Bonry in the barrier, Krog August frame, and Castellan and Downta, Colleen Fringe of Fame, Tour Queen of Brackena, H. Lesha Bake, Switch the Bath of Bromach, and Cousin Darren Graham, never to fall. A rebel in all. Saved my life. Gordon Freeman saved my life. Gordon Freeman saved my life. Out in the streets of City 17, civil protection run a rigid machine. Break down my door, take me down to the station. They got ideas, said I got information. My natural charm is only getting me so far. When out of the black I see the shape of a crowbar. Gordon Freeman saved my life. Back for freedom with a brainstorm. Gordon Freeman saved my life. Like Chuck Norris in a geek form. Completely silent, a violent creature. Despite looking like a geography teacher, moves at the speed of a cheetah in its prime. Apparently he ain't running on valve time. I watch as the combine and turn into flea. They vanish into thin air like episode 3. Gordon Freeman saved my life. Back for freedom with a brainstorm. Gordon Freeman saved my life. Like Chuck Norris in a geek form. my life. Gordon Freeman saved my life. Back for freedom with a brainstorm. Gordon Freeman saved my life. Like a Chuck Norris in a geek form. Gordon Freeman saved my life. Back for freedom with a brainstorm. Gordon Freeman saved my life. Like a Chuck Norris in a geek form. Back for freedom with a brainstorm. Like a Chuck Norris in a geek form. Back for freedom with a brainstorm. Like a Chuck Norris in a geek form.
And Bobo.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from Middlesbrough, northeast of England, will you please welcome your host, Dazzer Football Stand. It's the man in the eye blue, it's Mr. Daniel Johnson. Good evening on this Wednesday evening. Welcome to Dazzer's Football Stand. It is episode number 2 of Dazzer's Transfer Show. Thank you everyone for joining us this evening. A bit of a very special episode for us today. Sound is out of sync, is it? Not for me, it's not. Oh, the intro might have been, yeah, because I'm using my mobile data and I was getting notifications coming through all the time. It's the problem with that, but no, everything seems fine for me. But yes, good evening everyone. Hope you're all doing very well. Welcome everyone in the live chat to Joe Jump and Scotty B, Aidan Mulby, to Yusuf as well, and Box, Mike Loudon, Jake Johnson, etc., and everyone else who's joining at the minute. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing very well on this nearly said Friday, on this Wednesday evening. It's Darryl Johnson from Middlesbrough, northeast of England today. We're joined by a very special guest. Going to be talking about transfers, funny enough, because it is Dazzer's Transfer Show. It's Series 7, episode number 2. Got a lot to talk about. Obviously, we've got a bit of Manchester United news to talk about, a bit of buying my Boro as well. Also, something about Mbappe, which we'll mention later on in the show. But first of all, it wouldn't be Dazzer's Transfer Show without having a guest. And this, I have to say, I'm absolutely thrilled to have him on. This is the Middlesbrough FC Fan of the Season for 2019 to 2020. It is a man who travels all the way to every single Boro home and Boro away game from Wembley. Now, I'll tell you something, that is some commitment, especially considering how much trains cost these days. And unfortunately, we're not able to go to the grounds at the minute. But I'm pleased to have him on tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, by the way, I've got the music ready, so as soon as the music finishes, then we're able to chat. Here we go. So please welcome onto Dazzer's Transfer Show, it's Yusuf. Okay, that didn't work. Oh dear. Oh well, that didn't work. I'll have to I'll have to scrap that, never mind. Yusuf, welcome, mate.
Oh, welcome. Thank you very much. My pleasure. That was a fantastic intro, so thank you so much for that.
An intro that didn't go according to plan, but never mind. Not gonna lie, last week's didn't go according to plan either, but well, this is what happens when you're live, so.
Exactly.
Yes. How are you doing?
Yeah, not bad. Can't complain. Healthy, safe. That's the most important thing. So,
of course, yeah. Yes.
Just can't get straight into the show. Really, it should be exciting.
Mm-hmm. Well, of course, first of all, we are going to talk a bit about the Boro. Obviously, me and Yusuf both being Boro season ticket holders.
Yep.
I'm not going to lie, Yusuf goes to a lot more away games than I do. I go to about 1 or 2 every season because they are expensive, but I have to say, massive respect, fair play to you for going to all the Boro home and away games every season from Wembley, and you've done it for many years as well, so big respect to you, of course, for that. Also, just to say welcome to other people who've just joined today. Adam Talk Sport, Manchester United fan, saying I'm worried about City. Well, I wouldn't get too worried about Man City at the minute because they can't catch United at the minute. Also, welcome to Nick Muller, Ipswich fan, who also travels from London to the Ipswich games as well. £120 return from London for me when I went, Daz. It'll have been a lot more, though, from London to Middlesbrough than it is from London to Ipswich, but... probably not by a big difference. Anyways, we're not here to talk about train prices. We're not trainline.com. So James Hart's joined the stream. How doesn't Yusuf? Let's have a look at the other comments here. Hey, I'll watch. Hang on, sorry. I'm trying to read his comment here. Hey, Daz, I won't watch in a minute. I'll watch tomorrow. Nice to see Yusuf, says George Jumpin. Scotty B. Early. Hello, famous man. Hope all's going okay with your recovery. I'm better than I was, put it that way. What's famous dinner tonight? I've had some... What was it? I had some pasta with some chicken and bacon. Very nice. And the famous Iron Brew is here, of course. Let me know what your thoughts were on the thumbnail. I only made that thumbnail about an hour ago. Didn't take me long, but I thought I was rather pleased with that. Let's have a look. Yusuf's obviously in the live chat box as well. What's happened, Dazzer? Nothing at the minute. We're just getting started. Did you know, by the way, I was reading a book about glue the other day. I couldn't put it down. Right.
That's a good one.
Yeah. No, 120 to Middlesbrough, does only 28 to Ipswich. Oh, a bit of a difference then. Because Nick went to Boro versus Ipswich, didn't he, when we hosted them before we beat them. That was when I actually made a surprising appearance on Boro Fan TV. I think that might be my first appearance, actually. Can't even remember it was that long ago. Let's have a look. Tasty, a decent thumbnail, says Scotty B. Adam Talk Sports, I've got a question for you, Yusuf. Big O, well, let me know what your question is in live chat, by the way. LSR Pre-Drinks Live, AK Big O, or Owen. Hey, Daz, everything looking brighter in the world when you're top of the league. Let's make the most of it. He's on about Manchester United here. Charlie Kin is in the chat as well. Hello, Yusuf. Nigel M, evening Daz and Yusuf, UTB. Scotty B, Nick gets the specials over 60s discount on the trains. He's in his 40s, not his 60s, so that's what he told me. Mathematically, they can't tell him. That's what I was saying to him earlier on. Anyways, we've read all the live chat at the minute. Let's get straight into it then, because otherwise we'll get to 9 o'clock and we won't even go through the first transfer. This is going to be a fun stream. I'm very, very privileged to be joined by the Middlesbrough fan of the season for 2020. What were your feelings when you found out you'd been given the Fan of the Season award?
Overwhelmed, because I didn't expect to have got it, to be honest. But yeah, proud. But at the same time, I think all Boro fans are the same. I don't think I'm a better fan than you necessarily because I go to more games than you or whatever, or someone that's like younger or whatever. I just think we're all Boro fans. We're all
a big community, yeah.
We're all the same. We're all the same.
Yeah.
And I'm just in a lucky position because financially I can afford it. I'm in a lucky position because I haven't got any things to worry about like family, work. So I'm in a very fortunate position. So at the same time, I'm aware that just because I want it doesn't necessarily mean I'm a better fan. Don't ever think that I'm a better fan than you. But I'm just lucky that I'm able
I'd say you're a better fan than I am. I only go to the home games. I only go to the home games.
To do well.
Yeah, but the Fan of the Season award has to go to someone who's very committed to the club, goes to the home and the away games. I only ever go to like one away game a season, so I'm not gonna lie. When the voting came out, I immediately went for you because I thought you deserved it more than anyone else because you're the most committed one. How long have you been going from Wembley? How many seasons?
That's the thing. Initially, I used to only go to the away games because obviously financially it's so expensive. So initially, it started off by me just going to like the London games, and then as time went on and I was able to afford it and whatnot, I started to go to just outside of London games, and then I've only really been going to the Riverside, I'd say, for the last 4 years or whatever, because it's financially just so expensive. I wanted to go a lot sooner than that, but away, I've been going away for years and years and years and years. But Riverside, I've only really been going Riverside regularly, I'd say, for about 4 years now.
Fair enough, yeah. Anyways, speaking of the Boro then, we're currently, 7th in the league. And we are, well, I wouldn't say we're midway through the season with regards to the fixtures, but if you look at the calendar year, we are midway through into the January transfer window. 7th in the league, under Neil Warnock, who did bring in some of the academy players into the game against Brentford, which unfortunately we lost. But overall, how do you think the season's gone so far?
I think it's gone so much better than I think any Boro fan would have predicted. I mean, if you put 1,000 Boro supporters in a room and ask them where they realistically think Boro will do, yeah, you'll get a few fans that will say relegation zone, a few fans that will say mid-table.
That was last season.
I don't think anyone, even this pre-season, I don't think anyone really expected us to be near the playoffs, or anywhere near the playoffs. So I think that just goes to show the job that Neil Warnock is doing and the players. I mean, what he's done to the likes of Dyke Steele and Mark Bowler, and he's made them into new players. It's absolutely amazing. It really is.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think it's been a decent season. I know there's a lot of Boro fans who have really high expectations just because we got Neil Warnock and we know what he's capable of. He's won promotion more times than anyone else actually in the Championship, and there's people expecting automatics, and I'm like, we're not getting automatics. At the start of the season, I had us 8th, and I still think that we'll finish 8th. We'll either get into the playoffs or we'll just miss out. I think it'll be the same as Tony Pulis' last season, where it'll probably come down to the final day. However, on the final day, we do have Wycombe Wanderers, and of course, I'd say we stalled to the 3 points away, but at home it's different. We're normally superior at home. We're not as good as away from home, which is funny because last season we were bad at home, good away, and this season we're good at home, bad away. It's a bit strange really, but I'm not going to complain. We're nearly in the playoffs, and we're actually looking good going into the second half of the season. Mike Loudon's put hello to Yusuf in the live chat. That's Mike.
Hi, Mike. What a legend.
Yeah. Adam Talksport, as a Manchester United fan, has put Yusuf, where do you think Boro should strengthen? Also, we've already got the slots sorted. We've got, I'm still checking on next week's guest because there's a bit of uncertainty. I do have someone else on standby if that does happen, but no, we've already got all the slots full for this series. There's only going to be 4 episodes because there's only 4 weeks of the window. Let's have a look. So where do you think Boro should strengthen? For me, I think at striker. I think we need like a more prolific striker, in my opinion. I think that's what my dad said as well. Because we've got a Sombalonga, we've got Britt, we've got Fletcher, who I think's still out. I think he's coming back this month at some point.
He's coming back, yeah.
We've got Akpom, who is okay, but like the players who tend to score most of the goals are our midfielders. We don't seem to score many goals. With like half of the strikers don't seem to be scoring as many goals as you'd expect.
Well, I mean, I still think that the Championship level, you won't find too many strikers that are better than a Sombalonga or Fletcher or Akpom. How many times do you see strikers come for us, not score, and then they go to another club and score, shitload of goal. It's sorry for the language. I mean, loads of goals. So it's just typical. I know Dazzer's a family-friendly show, but I know you've got a lot of younger
Yeah,
viewers, so
don't worry about it.
it just came out.
No,
It just came out. But yeah, it could have plenty of goals. So I don't think we necessarily need a new striker. I'd say we need more of a winger. Someone that can create something, a bit of pace, a bit of tricks. Give us a little bit of quality in the final third, because I think a lot of our midfielders are quite similar. So obviously you've got the likes of Tav and Marvin Johnson, Brown, they're quite similar, and then you've got your midfielders, they're all like hard working, your Savills and your Howsons and your Morsey. I think we need a little bit of pace, a bit of trickery, someone who can make something out of nothing.
Duncan Watmore's been a decent signing.
Watmore's
been decent signing, hasn't he? I think it's certainly been good.
Excellent.
What more do we want? Right.
Coming out of these jokes, brilliant.
Oh, yeah, of course I do. Yeah, that's what I tend to do a lot. Did you hear, when I was reading a book about glue, I saw this new 007 glue that apparently had come out. Apparently bonds in seconds. Right. That'll do for the minute. Okay. We're about 15 minutes into the episode and we still haven't even got onto the transfers. Let's get started then with the transfers. Where have I put the sheet?
Yeah.
It's up there. Wouldn't mind, I'd put it up there and then forgot where I'd put it. Anyways, we'll start off. A bit of Boro news. There's been some rumours about Marcus Tavernier. He's been linked with a few clubs. Do you think he'll leave?
I hope he doesn't. I still think he needs another 6 months, 18 months to play regular first team football, and then he could move on. Because I think he's got so much potential, and I think at his stage of his career, he just needs to play football. And then then he can move on to a Premier League side. Because I think eventually we've got a few players like that, Tavernier, Fry. You know what I mean? A few players like still. Who I think 18 months time, they're going to be so much better. We can sell them for good money, and it's a win-win situation for everyone. We get good money.
Yeah.
They get to play for a big club in the Premier League. Everyone's a winner at the end of the day, and then we can then use that money to improve our squad. So I'd say out of the players that we've got, the one that's probably the most ready to leave now, I'd say is Del Fry, because he's been playing for a while. But Tavernier, I still think Tavernier needs another 18 months. Fry, I'd think about selling Fry this summer, because I think he's ready for the next step. But Tav, he's only really just become a first choice player. So I'd say another 18 months, and then maybe summer 2022 he can maybe move on.
That's true. Also, we brought in, this happened last Tuesday, I think it was, just as we were about to do the transfer show with Jude. We made the signing of Jordan Archer from Motherwell, who made 150 appearances or something for Millwall. Me personally, he played against, he made his debut against Brentford, didn't he, in the FA Cup? I thought he was decent. He made a few important saves, and he sort of bossed his defence a bit more than what I think we see with Bettinelli. I think he's more, what's the word? It's like more in more control maybe than Bettinelli. That's what I'd think. But I think it's a decent signing. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, no, I think that's spot on. Obviously he's coming. He's not going to be first choice. I think he knows that. He's going to be. He's going to be on the bench if Bettinelli gets injured. Then he'll come into the team. But I don't think he's coming to be a first choice goalkeeper, because you need 3 goalkeepers. We've got Bettinelli. We've got the youngster Sol Bryn, who's travelled quite a few times, and
I've met
he's
Sol
obviously
Bryn.
only I think 21. So we need an experienced goalkeeper, so that if we did have an injury to Bettinelli, we wouldn't have to rely on a 21-year-old who's not really played much. We can actually go for someone who's played plenty of championship games, because goalkeeping is such an important position. You do need experience. You do need, to be in control. You do need that leadership qualities, and I think it's a really, really solid signing for us, and it's a free transfer, so win-win for everyone.
Yeah, and also he's come in place of Dejan Stojanovic, who's gone to, as we say in English, the Bundesliga 2, a team called St. Pauli. In Germany, we call it the Zweite Bundesliga, and the team that we call it is Sankt Pauli, because that's how it's pronounced in Germany. So he's gone to the second division in Germany, from Boro on loan, I think, till the end of the season. Do you think that's a good move? Because I personally think he'll get more game time for Sankt Pauli, and he was barely getting a sniff of game time at all at the Boro, because it was always Bettinelli getting first choice, really. And I can understand why Bettinelli was first choice keeper, because he's a quality goalkeeper, a lot of championship experience. But I felt sorry for Stojanovic. I thought he was just left out all the time, and I think he deserved a bit better.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, but it happens in football all the time, where a manager buys you, and then the manager gets sacked 2 months later, 3 months later. So then you've got a new manager, and obviously he brings his own players in. So then it's like, and that's the thing. That's why I don't want us to constantly change managers, because if Warnock was to go, and we'll get someone else coming in, then what if they don't like the players that Warnock's brought in? Do you get what I mean? So that's why you need stability. You need someone that can come in, become a manager for a significant period of time, build a squad, and take it from there. Yeah,
that's true. A question from Mike Loudon chat. Do you two think, he's talking about me and you here, do we think that we will be allowed to attend home games by the end of the season? If the vaccine works and all the cases drop, then yes, but at the minute, I think the earliest we're going to get back into stadiums will be probably April.
No, I agree.
I mean,
we
me and Yusuf and my dad, we were like, I think, one of the luckiest people. There was only 1,000 in against Bournemouth, and we were the lucky ones who managed to just about get tickets. The funny thing was, someone, I'm not sure, you probably know Miles Lack.
Yes, yeah. Vlogging.
Because I'd put on my Instagram story saying, no, I somehow managed to get tickets for the Brentford game, this, that, and the other. And he said, what time did you go on it? Well, we literally clicked on to we literally went on the website a minute to 8. Like 1 minute till 8, or whenever it was it came out, 1 minute before, and we somehow got the tickets quickly. And he's saying to me, "Oh well, you're lucky. We'd been on since 7:30, and they didn't get any." So I thought, well, that's yeah, it is bad luck. I was a bit confused by that. Off topic, by the way. I'm sure a lot of people will know, especially if you joined the stream that we did on Saturday for the Brentford game. Marcus Brown got injured. Looks like, I don't know how long he's going to be out for. It turns out his knee had popped out of place, and the physio had popped back in. So that's rather painful. So I don't know how long he's going to be out, but I just want to say, speedy recovery to him. Hope to see him back in the squad as soon as possible. On to the transfers then. We've spoke mainly about Boro. First one is an interesting one in my opinion. Ched Evans. Now, obviously, a lot of people will probably know Ched Evans plays for Fleetwood, especially Ben Knappman, who is Fleetwood vlogger. I can't remember what his name is. Cod's Vlogs, that's it. I'm sure a lot of people will be aware of him. Always been a big fan of Ched Evans. He's joined Preston on loan. Now, according to their former manager Joey Barton, who left the club, apparently Ched Evans had gone because of disciplinary and behavioural issues. I'm rather confused by that, because as I say, well, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but I don't think Ched Evans is that bad. I don't know whether that's true, whether it's disciplinary issues or something, or I don't know, but I find this a bit of an interesting one. He's gone to Preston on loan. Now, interesting, because he said that he said on, well, I found this on, I think, Sky Sports or something, that he'd put, I'm really excited for the next 6 months. Getting back to the Championship is brilliant. So, of course, he made 99 appearances, scored 37 goals at his time at Fleetwood. That's before he went out on loan. 13 Wales caps, and obviously a former Championship player. Will he be a good fit for Preston? I don't know. I think it's interesting. It's like, we were thinking like, Ivan Toney when he went to Brentford from League One, and look what he's doing. He's playing brilliantly. So
exactly.
Is it going to be the same situation? Because Preston are a really good side. I mean, we know ourselves. We played against them and we got absolutely mauled. Even though I didn't think we deserved to lose by 3 goals. But, we got tortured in the final third by them. But I think Ched Evans will be a good... I think he'll be a good addition to their side. It's whether he's going to be a first team starter or whether he's going to be one of them who comes off the bench, a bit like Donny van der Beek. So, I don't know. I find this a bit of a confusing one because I don't see why Ched Evans has been sent out on loan, because I think he's doing fine at Fleetwood. I think without him, I think Fleetwood will struggle for the rest of the season. It's only on loan though, so I suppose Fleetwood fans can't complain too much. The Iron Boo, by the way, is open, as you saw earlier on. But not much to say on that one. It's an interesting one. Manchester United have made the signing Amad Diallo. Now, although Atalanta BC have been determined to keep him at the club till the end of the season, United are determined to actually take him now. £19 million deal plus add-ons, and he is signed till 2025. And also have, I think, an option to extend a further year. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said, having watched him play myself, I believe he's one of the most exciting young prospects in the game. Now, interesting that. I mean, I don't know too much about Amad Diallo. Of course. All I know is he plays for Atalanta, and obviously the Italian league is a good league. It is a good league. But the Premier League is a completely different ball game. Is he likely to start? I don't know. I think it could be the same situation as Donny van der Beek, a player with a lot of potential to do well and doesn't get started. I can't remember where he plays now. I think he's like a right mid or right winger.
He's a winger, yeah.
So that's a competition for like the Greenwood and Dan James, etc. Do you see him starting for United, or do you think that Greenwood and James are like, I'd say, better than him?
I'd say he's one for the future. I don't think he's going to come in and break into the first team yet, because obviously you've got Greenwood, you've got James, you've got Martial who can play out there, and they'll probably play the wing-back system a few times as well. I can see them doing that because they've got Lindelof, Maguire and Bailly, who I think are 3 very good defenders, and they've got Wan-Bissaka one side and Tellers on the other. So I think that wing-back system I think will probably suit United more, and because that then they could bring on start the likes of Donny van der Beek and Bruno Fernandes and Pogba. Do you know what I mean? All on the same pitch kind of thing, which I think they should try aim to do. But in terms of starting, I don't think he's going to start straight away. I think he's one for the future. And someone to maybe bring off the bench for the last 20 minutes when the defenders are a bit tired, or bring him on when you've got defenders that are just defending non-stop. Because some teams do that; they just defend. He's someone who can, produce a little bit of magic. I'm not saying he's like Cristiano Ronaldo, but when Cristiano Ronaldo first came, he was of a similar, story, similar. You know what I mean, somebody who can just come off the bench and make that impact and grow. Because Cristiano Ronaldo didn't become Cristiano Ronaldo overnight. It took him years and years and years, and eventually he was a first team starter. When he first came, he was absolutely skinny and he was diving a lot, no end product. But then eventually he got stronger. He started playing week in, week out. He started scoring more goals, and they have an exit manager in Sir Alex Ferguson, and the rest, as you say, is history.
Yeah, same. I'm not gonna lie. When I first heard the name Diallo, for some reason I thought we were signing the centre back from PSG. Because I've always known Amad Diallo as Amad Traore. Because Traore is actually in the name. And Nigel M in the chat has put get Morrison back. I like to have a Morrison, but he didn't get enough time. That was the thing. Now, I've not had a Donna wrap this week. I barely had a takeaway this week, so I haven't been well enough, have I? So, Scotty B, by the way, in chat has also put, how long's the stream? We're live until 9 o'clock. Because because it's an hour show. Middlesbrough should be aiming for the playoffs at least this season. That's from a Norwich fan. Yeah, I'd agree. But the question is, will we get there? I mean, only time will tell. It's a bit early to say at the minute because this season in Championship's been incredibly unpredictable. Because you got teams up there. I mean, Reading. You got teams up like Reading and stuff, and no one expected them to be high flying in the league. And yeah, actually, speaking of Boro, Nigel Lim's just made a good point. Neither has Roberts. Now, Patrick Roberts, I'm sorry, but I think Roberts will go. Personally, I think Roberts will end up going back to Manchester City because Manchester City were actually looking to bring him back and then sell him on to Celtic, who actually he used to play for anyway and was actually good at Celtic. But whenever he plays, it's a bit like Duncan Watmore. Whenever he plays and Duncan Watmore plays as well, we got a lot more creativity in the side. But I just think I don't know why Neil Warnock doesn't play Roberts very often. I know he's come out and said, "Oh well, he's been unlucky, you know, this, that, and the other." I don't see why he doesn't fit in. I
think it's the defensive side to his game. I think what Warnock likes, he likes his midfielders to defend, to track back. Martin Johnson does that. Tavernier does that. I don't think Patrick Roberts does that. So I think it will be a bit of a detriment to the team if he does that. Don't get me wrong. I think he's our best player by far, technically. Really, really good player. But by playing him, it will affect the hard-working team, the defensive, solid team. And we probably won't be getting as many clean sheets if that was the case. But surely there's a way that we can, fit him around the team. Because look at Del Fry. Del Fry's not your typical centre half. He's not your centre half. And McNair. I mean, look at that pairing. They're not your, hard as nails centre backs who will header things away, and they're quite, soft centre backs if you like. They're playing ball playing centre halves, whereas people say you need to have a strong centre half or whatever. So surely there's a way that you can fit in Patrick Roberts in the team, but I can understand why Warnock hasn't been playing him. Let's put it that way.
Oh, fair enough. Yep. And Sam Gwilt, by the way, has donated with the cack sticker, as per usual. Cheers for that. Cheers for that. John Wayne, guten Abend. Evening, lads. It's the guy who watches from Frankfurt. Guten Abend.
Guten Abend, John Wayne.
Yeah,
guten Abend.
herzlich willkommen.
Wie geht's?
Yep, that's exactly what we say. Dick O'Connell in the chat. Welcome, mate. Has put Yusuf is a legend, and that's what Dick O'Connell's put in the chat.
A legend.
Yeah. Okay. On to the next transfer. Please do like and subscribe if you haven't already done so, by the way. And for those who don't already know, we're joined by Yusuf. It does say in the title, and you do see his photo in the thumbnail. So I think that sort of gives it away, doesn't it? On to the next one then.
Yeah, but not everyone knows me, so yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's been a bit of a wasted signing, this guy. Sebastian Haller, West Ham United's record signing, is going to Ajax for 20 mil. Now, I can't remember exactly how much they paid for him in the first place. Was it something like 40 mil?
I think 40 million. 40, yeah. Their record signing at 40.
Oh,
yeah.
40 mil on a flop, basically. I mean, he has scored. He's scored what? 14 goals for them in 54 games. Again, an interesting one. I think he'll do well at Ajax. I mean, the Eredivisie, same. I mean, all leagues are different, but the Eredivisie is not as big and not as highly contested as the Premier League is, and especially this season. Not just, I think every league's been different this season, even the Bundesliga. And people say the Bundesliga's boring, this, that, and the other. Well, actually, Leipzig are actually chasing Bayern to the title, and there's Leverkusen up there. So there's a few teams in different leagues that could win the titles. Look at Manchester United, top of the league as well. No one expected that. I certainly didn't. And Ajax are a quality side, really are a quality side. I don't think they got through in the Champions League, so he'd be going into the Europa League, but at least he'd be getting not international football. What am I going on about? European football. I haven't got the right teeth in today. At least he'd be playing European football, unlike what he'd be doing at West Ham, where he'd just be playing Premier League and the usual cup competitions. So he'd actually get experience playing in European football and Europa League. And the Europa League isn't as well. It's not an easy contest because it's always a very competitive competition. Hence why it's called a competition. I mean, it wouldn't be a competition if it wasn't competitive, but it's like highly contested, you could say, with teams like Sevilla, etc., and other teams that have won it as well. And Ajax, 20 million, I think it's a bargain. I think Sebastian Haller is good, but I don't think it's not the Sebastian Haller that people were expecting. It was one of them players. I think it's one of them players a bit like Timo Werner, really, you could say. All the Chelsea fans, but when the Chelsea fans were saying, "Oh, look, we got Timo Werner, we're going to win the league," this time the other, getting so hyped up about it, and then he's not been as good as they expected. I think that's been the same case with Sebastian Haller. West Ham bought him for 40 odd mil. All the fans are excited, and he's not lived up to the potentials. Now, I think at Ajax, I think we could see him scoring a few goals, especially at Ajax. And they have got a lot of creative players in there who will feed the balls through to him. So I think he'll do well at Ajax. Joe Willet's joined. I can't put the message in chat because it does have bad language in it. But he says, "Now then, babe," basically. I can't put the message in chat, obviously, mate. I'll show you where. But thanks for joining anyway, mate. Hope you're doing well. I hope everyone's doing well as well. If you are watching, thanks for joining. A lot of people in the stream actually tonight, which is really good to see. And I did put on my Instagram story a few times that we're going to be live. So yeah, hope everyone's doing well. Nick Muller's put, "It's not the real Leipzig." Well, I mean, I don't know. I think yes, I can see why you're saying it's not the real Leipzig, because Leipzig were a lot better with Timo Werner. But even without Timo Werner, they've been brilliant, especially at home. I know they got beat by Dortmund, which was, for the first time, I was actually glad about that. Obviously. But, no, it was very interesting. Joe Willett, has put, "Hope you both well, mate. Won't he here for the Yusuf?" He's put the chant, "Won't he here for the Yusuf, here for the Yusuf." Yeah. And you're here for the entertainment, of course, as well. Even the German fans hate that made of team. Oh yeah, because of it being, what was it, formed back in 2006, 2007, something like that. But that's. I mean, people say the same about #United. So if someone wants to create a team, let them. At the end of the day, but
Exactly.
it's all the franchise and stuff. But hey, whether they're a franchise team or not, they're a very good side. They are a very good side, especially with Mukiele and Upamecano, who has been linked with a few clubs: Bayern Munich, Manchester United, and Chelsea. 3 teams who are looking at trying to sign Dayot Upamecano from RB Leipzig. I thought I might as well talk about since we're talking about Leipzig. The main question: who is he likely to go to? Is he likely to go to Chelsea, who, in my opinion, defensively aren't amazing? I know they signed Thiago Silva. I don't think their defence isn't particularly great. United could certainly boost the defence, and Bayern, who I'm going to be honest, are defensively suspect. Boateng's not been living up to expectations this season. Sule and Alaba haven't been particularly amazing either. So whichever team he goes to, it'll be good for them because it'll sort out the defences. But the main question: who is he likely to go to? That's what I'm wondering. I think, if I'm being realistic, I think he might want to go to Bayern, mainly because it means he won't have to move countries, and because he's got more experience in the Bundesliga, and of course Bayern are the record champions, who actually could get overtaken by Leipzig this season. So I don't know, or will he just actually stay at Leipzig? It's difficult, really. In your opinion, who do you think he's likely to go to? Let us know what your thoughts are in the live chat as well. Do you think you go to United, Chelsea or Bayern? Let us know in chat. What do you think, mate?
I personally think he'll stay at Leipzig for the rest of the summer. I don't see him leaving in January. And then I think it just depends on what happens with other teams. I mean, he might go Chelsea if Thiago Silva doesn't extend his contract, because he's only got a 1-year contract. So they might be looking for another centre-half next summer. I know they've already got like Tomori, and they've got Christensen, and they've got Rudiger as well. So they've got a couple of decent centre-halves. Are any of them what I describe as world class? Probably not.
No.
United, I look at United, I think Harry Maguire is a bit
of a fridge. He's the fridge, really, as we call him.
Yeah. I think United's best defender hasn't really been playing regularly, and that's Eric Bailly.
Yeah.
When he doesn't, when he plays, it's like a different team. And then as soon as he gets dropped, it's like Lindelof and Maguire isn't really a good partnership, I don't think. Which, ironically, Middlesbrough could have signed both of them at some stages of their career. So that just goes to show you what could have happened. But in terms so I think he'll probably stay at Leipzig, and then in the summer, I think it just depends on certain things. Potentially Chelsea if they don't keep Thiago Silva.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Interesting. Let me know what you thought on the live chat. Welcome to WWFC Pack, a Wolverhampton Wanderers fan in the live chat. Scotty B's put, we've been linked with Nyland. Where's Nyland from? I don't recognise the name. I'm not gonna lie. I'll do my research for that and try and add it into next week's show if I get time. Lucas Piazza as well. Well, send me those two names on Instagram at some point later, and I'll make sure I do my research for that for next week, because I'm not gonna lie, I don't know anything about them two players as such at the minute. So yeah, sorry about that. Villa 1920 goalkeeper. I'm guessing he didn't make many appearances then, because I don't recall them having a keeper called that. But anyways, on to the next one. Another West Ham United transfer. Well, actually, it's Sam Allardyce signing one of his former players. It's Robert Snodgrass moving to West Brom. Now, this is an 18-month deal. There's been no fee confirmed. But Sam Allardyce came out and said, I'm absolutely delighted that he's chosen to take up the challenge with us. He will add Premier League experience and add quality to our side. Now, a team like West Brom, in my opinion, they're going to go down this season without a shadow of a doubt, because they're just not good enough. However, they've nicked points against Liverpool, City, etc. So nicked points against decent teams. And they could have nicked a point at Old Trafford as well. But they decided to be against them as usual. But I think Sam Allardyce is a really good manager, but I think he's took up a challenge that I don't think he's going to, do a good job. I don't think he's going to keep them up. And I don't think it's his fault. I think it's because of the quality in their team isn't good enough. They haven't got a good enough team to compete at this sort of level. And I think with the addition of Robert Snodgrass, that will improve the team a lot, because, as he rightly said, he has Premier League experience and will add quality to their side. And it is much needed quality that they need as well. So he's got the quality. He's really good down that right-hand side. Obviously, he's had a few assists. He's had a few involvements in goals in the past. Will he do a good job at West Brom? I think he will. But I think West Brom need to make more signings than just one in order for them to stay up this season. Any thoughts on this, mate?
I think that's spot on. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think Sam Allardyce is not a manager that's going to give up easily. I think if West Brom are going to go down, he wants them to go down fighting. He wants them, he wants them to go right down, to the last game of the season, not just kind of give up and say, oh, we're not good enough, that's it. I think he's going to try make the team competitive, and even if they do go down, have a team that's good enough to come straight back up. So having someone like Robert Snodgrass is not only going to help them stay up this season, but if they're in the Championship, having a player like him, he's going to be one of the best players. So I think it's tricky, for a team that's in a relegation zone, because you have to think not just about now, but you also have to think about the future. Because what you don't want to do is buy someone for 30 million, and then in a few months later, if you get relegated, you're going to have to sell them. But then if you sell them and they're on like 900, 90 grand a week, 100 grand a week, no one might want to get them because the wages are too high. So you're going to end up having a player that's on ridiculous wages. So I think Robert Snodgrass is a perfect signing for them. That's essentially what I'm trying to say. And so if they do go down, he will help them come straight back up.
Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. He's a fantastic manager with a lot of experience, and as you rightly said, they won't go down without a fight, and that's always been the case. Sam Allardyce normally keeps them up in the Premier League, but I just think, I think a lot of people will think this. I think he's just took on too big a challenge, really. Scotty B in the chat put, yes, Sam at West Brom, where's that black earpiece in his ear? Yeah, I don't know what that's about, whether that's whether he's listening to the commentary or something, or I don't know what he's listening to.
One of his coaching staff is
it's one of his coaching staff.
And in the stands have got a better view, so that's his way of communicating with them. So obviously he can only see on the floor, but actually sometimes if you sat up the top of the stand, then you've got a far better view, and he's communicating with his assistant. So I think that's a really good idea. I think most clubs should really do that, because I think because you sit behind the dugout, so you've only got one particular view. But if you sat quite, where maybe Steve Gibson sat or whatever, then you have a complete. Mike Loudon sits quite high. He has a completely different view than the rest of us, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, even sitting behind the dugout, the thing with sitting behind the dugout is you get the exact same view as the managers.
Yeah, exactly.
And the other coaching staff. And I agree, the higher you sit, the better the view is, and you actually see more. The only thing with when you're down the bottom is you can't see the players that like making the little ones into the box. So that is the only downfall. But I've sat at the top of stands before, and for me, I see more when I'm sat towards the bottom. I get to see I see more of the action down the bottom. But I mean, people have different views on it. But
it's good to have a different view as well.
Different view. Your point of views. Yeah.
Then there's no harm in having at least one of them up there. So. He can actually, because he might say, oh, this player was terrible in the first half, he wasn't making any runs, but then the assistant who sat on the stands might say, well, actually, he kept on making the runs, but the players never saw him making those runs, so they kept them passing sideways or whatever. So it's about having different viewpoints, really.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Scotty B, Scotty B did mention earlier, my dad is fine. He is downstairs with the rest of the family. No, he's not in the bath. He's not in the bath. Trust me, he's not. He's downstairs with the rest of the family, just watching the TV. He's probably on his phone, looking at messages as usual. The next stream after Saturday, we'll be live on Saturday for Boro versus Birmingham, the early kick-off in the Championship, and then Sunday it's the top of the league clash in the Prem, Liverpool against Manchester United. I'm not going to lie, I'm looking forward to that game, because that's going to be an enthralling contest. But of course, I'm looking forward to Boro v Birmingham as well. It'll be interesting.
I look at that game and I think it's nothing without fans. I mean, I just wish there was fans there, so you can the banter and the Liverpool fans booing the United players going to Anfield, and then if Man United score, celebrate with the away fans. It's just not the same, I don't think. Don't get me wrong, I think it's great, but I think it's just not the same. It really isn't.
Mm-hmm. So I was just having a sip of my Iron Brew. I was trying to reach something, I couldn't reach it either. That's, in case you're wondering why I went to the left-hand side of the camera if you want to stream. Yeah, I agree. Football without fans is nothing, but hopefully we'll be back in the stadiums. I'd say next season maybe. They're trying to get fans into the stadium for the FA Cup final and the Euros, obviously.
Well, the League Cup, I think they made
they
the
extended that as well, didn't they? April.
Because they made it in April because they're hoping fans are going to get there, but I just don't, see that happening. I think, they should just leave this League Cup final back in end of February as they normally do. Otherwise, it'd just be a fixture congestion.
That is the other problem with these cup games. Right. Just very quickly before we go on to the next transfer, we are into the final 10 minutes of the show. It's been a really good show. I've enjoyed it, I have to say. Yeah, been a good laugh. We need a league in the middle of the Premier League and the Championship. Yes, but I don't think they're ever going to invent that. All they're doing is inventing these Europa League 2s, which are meant to come in the next few years. That's meant to be teams, I think, who finish 8th, 9th and 10th in the Premier League or something like that, so which will be a bit pointless. I mean, who's likely to watch that? If no one watches the normal Europa League, who's going to watch that? I mean, God.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've got the Emmerdale Cup, and that one will be the Hollyoaks Cup. You know.
It'll be Burnley against Kaiserslautern on Channel 5.
Kaiserslautern. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it would happen because Kaiserslautern are in the I think they're in the second division. Yeah,
but I just gave a random.
Yeah. So it would be more like Burnley versus Werder Bremen or some team like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Stuttgart, even that. But yeah, I can see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from. How was the FIFA business going? Saw you were live early on. Yes, I got beat to Rangers. I'm not going to lie, the guy I was against was very dirty. But I'm doing well. Win Division 5, and I've only lost 6 games out of 27, so I'm not doing too bad with the Boro at the minute. Yeah, it's going well. Of course, if you do want to see more of that, do follow me on Instagram, Dazzer_football_stand. News has just come through, by the way. It's currently hosting Kiel 1, Bayern 1 in the DFB Pokal, struggling against a second division team. So that's not ideal, but oh well, it's one of them things. They'll know that win. Let's have a look here. Is any more comments? I did miss a comment actually earlier on. I'm just going to go back up and have a look at this. Reading will fall away, says Scotty. Probably. Nigel M. Yeah, he put, we never gave Harrison a chance, and now look at him at Leeds.
Harrison, yeah.
Yeah. I'd actually forgotten I forgot he was actually at the club, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But
I liked him. He barely played because obviously we had Adama and Stuart Downing. He was playing mainly out wide, so Jack really wasn't really given an opportunity. But I like Jack Harrison. Yep. He was a good player.
By the way, welcome to Wickety, by the way. I did answer his message earlier on. I just forgot to say who it was that was in the chat as well. There was another one. Kobe Miranda had joined, well, about 50 minutes ago, and I'd forgot to mention. Hope you're doing well, Kobe, if you're still in the stream. Still got a few people in the chat. Do keep getting your comments in the live chat as we enter the final 5-6 minutes of the stream. Very quickly, we got one or two more things to really talk about. I want to talk very quickly. Well, I'll just talk about this very quickly. This will only be less than a minute. Omar Richards, it was confirmed by Tom R in the live chat yesterday evening that Omar Richards had signed for FC Bayern. Very confusing one, because I don't see what he's going to do at Bayern, and he's not likely to start ahead of Alphonso Davies. And David Alaba can play left back as well. So, don't know why he signed, but all I can say is, if you're a Reading fan, you've wasted your time selling him on, because yes, you'll probably get money for it, but he's not going to start. The only time he'll start is probably in the DFB Pokal, because I can't see him starting in any big competitive matches. So yeah, probably wasted time there, and he'll probably go into the amateur club actually, because they have an amateur team in the third division. They've actually won the division this season, but for some reason, because of it being an amateur club, they weren't allowed to go into the second division, which I thought was strange. So they'd won the league for nothing, really, just for the money. I thought it was a bit strange, but oh well. But I think Omar Richards will not start for the first team this season. But I don't know exactly how long it was. It was just confirmed yesterday that he'd signed on. There was nothing saying how long it was or any fee or anything. But I haven't got a clue. Bayern have actually taken the lead now. Leroy Sané getting back on the score sheet as well, just as we speak. I'm getting all notifications come through on the Bayern app, which is in Germany.
What do you think of the other Bayer Leverkusen signing from United? Did you see that?
Yeah, Timothy Fosu-Mensah. Yeah, I was going to write him down actually, but there was no confirmation as to whether that was going to happen. But that was all.
It's confirmed.
It's confirmed now.
Because I think Ajax, Marseille, Hertha Berlin were trying to get him, and he's gone to Bayer Leverkusen for 1.8 million. What's your views on that?
Interesting, because we never saw Timothy Fosu-Mensah really play for United. He never really got chance, especially when you got the likes of Wan-Bissaka playing there. We sent Diogo Dalot on loan, didn't we, as well? That was to AC Milan. He's okay there. I think it'll be a decent signing. I think he's got a bit of quality in him. I'll say. I think he'll get more time at Leverkusen. I don't think their right back's particularly amazing. Weiser, I don't think he's the best right back they've got. And Arias, of course. Arias is decent. I can see him starting ahead of Weiser, but I don't see him starting ahead of Arias. Because I just think Arias is levels above. But it'll be interesting. I think he'll get game time. Without a shadow of a doubt, he'll get game time. I think it might be against some of the teams like Arminia Bielefeld or someone who's just been newly promoted. I don't see him starting against the likes of Bayern, etc. I just think that would be it would just be too much pressure on young shoulders. But he's young and he's got a lot of upcoming prospects. So I think he'll be fine there. I don't think he's going to start too often though. That's my opinion, really.
And what about Jesse Lingard? Do you think he's going to move on as well? Sorry to keep.
Don't worry. It's fine. That's fine. No problem with that. Jesse Lingard. To be honest with you, I've never been a fan of J-Lings. I've never been a fan of him. I've actually got, a lot of people don't know, but I've actually got a Jesse Lingard signed cap, which I won. Christmas 2019, I think it was. A lot of Manchester United fans might know Alex Neild is a young, disabled Manchester United vlogger. He did a Christmas giveaway, and all I had to do was just put something in the comments section about just on one of his videos, and he added me in. And somehow, this was on Christmas Day, by the way, my name got picked out of the hat and I'd won the signed Jesse Lingard cap, which is hanging up in my room. I can't show it, obviously, because of it being different merchandise. I'd get copyrighted. Because you can get copyright for merchandise. I still think that's a stupid thing. But
it's ridiculous,
it's one of them things. So, yeah. Well, no, that was a surprise. But as a footballer, I don't think Jesse Lingard is as good as he used to be nowadays. So, if he does move on, I think he'll move on anyway, but there has been talks of him signing a new contract, so we'll find out about that sooner or later. But at the minute, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on every 2 seconds a minute. Everything's going left, right, and centre, so anything could happen. Got about 2 minutes or so left before the klaxon goes. Mesut Ozil, RUMOURS here. He said that there's been multiple clubs after him, and this is Mesut Ozil from Arsenal, by the way, for those who don't know. DC United and Fenerbahce are amongst other clubs that have been after him this season. And he's come out and said, if I went to Turkey, I could only go to Fenerbahce. So, in reality, because there has been a lot of talks with Fenerbahce's president or something had said that he wanted him to join. I think it'd be good fit, and I think it'd be good for Fenerbahce. I don't watch the Turkish Super League, but I think if he did go to Fenerbahce, I think he'd be a good fit. That's all I'm going to say. I don't think he'd do it in the MLS. Put it that way. Finally, this will be the last thing before because the klaxon will go at any time. I don't know when it goes. I've got on a set timer, so it just goes any time. Mbappe to Real Madrid rumours coming out. He's been Real Madrid's main target, scoring 12 goals in 14 appearances in Ligue 1 this season. However, Mauricio Pochettino has also come out saying that he will let Mbappe join Liverpool, provided that he can replace him with two players, a Sergio Aguero and this is going to be very impossible, Lionel Messi. So I think in reality he's going to go to Real Madrid, don't you? I don't think he's going to Liverpool anytime soon, because in reality you're not going to sign Messi and Aguero. So it's one of them things. Is there anything you want to say very quickly on this?
No, nothing I can think of at the top of my head. No.
Yeah. Alright, yeah. Well, I think we've beaten the klaxon. The klaxon hasn't gone yet, thank God for that. So that's a bit strange. Unless
it's waiting for you to sing Marching On Together. Sing Marching On Together, then they'll sing the captain.
I'd rather sing Marching Off Together, to be honest with you, mate. I'd rather sing Marching Off.
That's your favourite song, though. Go on, then.
No.
Sing it, and then...
No.
You said you'd rather sing it. Go for it.
No.
All right,
I'm not singing Marching On Together, are I? That's probably the best you're going to get from me at the minute. The best, well, the only time that when I tend to do pig bag, it's always like when I hear pig bag playing at the Riverside Stadium. That's normally the only time it's the only times I normally ever sing.
Exactly.
Pig bag, because it's a Boro anthem. We only ever do it on the Boro streams. But that's the best you're probably going to get from me at the minute.
No, that's fine. Perfect.
Right. Well, I don't think there's anything else I really need to say, in fairness. There it goes. Yeah, I've just heard it on. I've just heard it on the iPad. You won't have heard it because it won't have come through on the call, but I've just heard it in case anyone else didn't hear. I've literally just heard it go. So the klaxon has gone. That is the end of tonight's show. We actually got through everything, which is good. So that's 2 episodes in a row that we've got through all the transfers. So yes, really enjoyed that. Big thank you to everyone who has joined tonight's stream. Big thank you to Yusuf for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure, mate. And
thank you very much. Loved it.
Good. Pleased to hear that. Hopefully might be able to get you on in the summer transfer window. It'll be a much longer. I'll say it'll be much longer episodes in the summer, because there'll be more transfers to talk about in the summer than there is in the January window.
Yeah, of course.
But no, I appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time to come on to the stream tonight.
No problem. Anytime. Thanks for inviting me.
No problem. Thank you very much. And thank you all very much for watching tonight's stream. We're back on Saturday with Middlesbrough as they take on Birmingham City at the Riverside Stadium in the early 12:30 kickoff. But for me, Dal Johnson, and from our guest Yusuf, take care, and we'll see you next Tuesday night for another episode of Dazzer Transfer Show. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Bye, everyone.
And Bob.
Absolutely.
some of them my UFO. I'm mobbing on my LFO. I'm instigating the crash. Got my purple whoops, man. Set this city alight. I'm going high tonight, yeah. I can see the world from my satellite. I'm going higher tonight, yeah. I'm gonna set this city alight. I'm going higher tonight, yeah. I can see the world from my satellite. I'm liberating the slaves, so keep it steady and flow. Ain't never gonna cut you no slack. Feel better when I'm up in my tracks. The city's ready to blow, 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 blow. Got my purple whoops, man. Keep on dancing. I'm just gonna keep on dancing. I'm going higher tonight, yeah. I'm gonna set this city alight. I'm going higher tonight, yeah. I can see the world from my satellite. I'm going higher tonight, yeah. I'm gonna set this city alight. I'm going higher tonight.
When you start to play Resident Evil 6, you hammer the buttons and wiggle the sticks. To punch or to shoot or to jump or to kick, you hammer the buttons and wiggle the sticks. I'm screaming at Leon because he's so thick. His facial awareness is that of a brick. The camera keeps jerking, it's making me sick. So hammer the buttons and wiggle the sticks. What's with these controls? Are they taking the mick? No, hammer the buttons and wiggle the sticks. Just give me some options, a tactic to pick. No, hammer the buttons and wiggle the sticks. These damn QTEs happen too bloody quick. I'm tired of shaking the analog stick. If the camera keeps jerking, I'm gonna be sick. So hammer the buttons and wiggle the sticks. Hammer the buttons and wiggle the sticks.
Sunshine fading from your stare. Sometimes it's better not to care. And I can see your smiling
Innocence is wasted, and I'm so sorry that you never can replace it. The darkest road ahead, you're gonna have to face it, 'cause I can't always be there. For now I'll do the best I can. You feel it on the wind. Changes weaken from within, and I can take your hand and guide you, but hope is all that I can leave you on your way. Innocence is wasted, and I'm so sorry that you never can replace it. The darkest road ahead, you're going